I got tingly in all the right places, but and it's not caused by a virus, I swear to God. All right, from squirts to shirts. Does your right to be free include wearing a tee? The ACLU, not sure what that is, says yes after a Connecticut high school told a student he had to remove an anti-gay shirt. It was the ACLU, I know.
It's an anti-rainbow shirt. It's not an anti-gay
It's true. Anyway, the front of Seth Grudy, that's his real name's t-shirt, had this rainbow with a slash through it, and the back was a picture of a male and female stick figures holding hands, disgusting, with the words Excessive Speech Day underneath. The teen opposes gay rights and wore the shirt on Wolcott's High's Day of Silence, a national event that organizers say is aimed at bringing attention to anti-LGBT name-calling, bullying, and harassment in schools. The state's ACLU says he had every right to wear this, with its legal director noting the First Amendment was written to protect unpopular speech, which is naturally the kind of speech that will always need protection. They always say that. So I bet you're wondering, how's the class pet taking the news? Oh my goodness.
So cute.
It really is. I have no idea what we were talking about.
Sleep apnea is no joke.
That is true.
We're anti-rainbow.
Jamie, here the principle here is that even if this guy's being a jerk, he has a right to be a jerk, and that's what the ACLU's job is, always protect jerks, right?
I actually think, regardless of where you stand on whether it goes over the line, I don't think you have an absolute right to say whatever you want while on school premises. Free speech, I believe in wholeheartedly. You can say it on the corner, but you can't go around screaming, for instance, and I'm not suggesting this is equivalent, racial epithets. Obviously, you're going to get in trouble there. But can I just point out that this is the day of silence, so they had to break the silence to tell him that he was suspended or whatever they did to him?
That he really is the winner and an American hero, which is what you were saying in the green room, Michael.
Yes. I'm going to go with what you're saying. Yeah, an American hero, this kid. Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. Look, I don't know. I have sympathy for both sides of this thing. I'm all in favor of unpopular speech. I've made my living making unpopular speech, and it wasn't obscene. It wasn't particularly pejorative. I'm okay with the kid wearing the T-shirt. I think if it starts a discussion, fine, and let the free market sort it out. Let them beat him up after school.
That's the point. I mean, it's almost like a jerk magnifier. If somebody wears that, then you just realize that that person's a jerk. But it's weird because Leanne, you actually have the same shirt.
Do I?
Yes.
I didn't realize that unless you snuck it in my closet. Look,
in the
telling
closet,
people what
the operative phrase.
Exactly. Aren't they always the most homophobic?
Telling what people, or saying what people can and can't say, I think it's a very slippery slope. So I'm with you on it. I don't think the kid should have been told to take off his shirt, but at the same time, if the school is having a silent day, then then maybe they shouldn't have a silent day either, and just go about learning in school and just letting it be. And there's always been bullies. It doesn't matter now whether they say let's not be bullies. It's something that people have to deal with in life. It hasn't changed for hundreds of years. People still get bullied. I got bullied as a kid, and I got tougher because of it.
And you were a bully.
No.
I got to make this point. Everybody says that they were bullied. No one says they were bullied. I was a bully, and I was bullied.
Jerk.
No, nobody. It's kind of that thing where nobody remembers. They never remember when they're gambling. They never remember their losses. They only remember their wins. It's the same thing with bullying. Everybody goes, "Oh, I remember that guy Billy used to beat me up." But then there was that other day that you actually beat up Tommy because Billy beat you up. It's that kind of like War of the Flies.
I agree with you. I just think we need more bullies.
Exactly.
I'm with you on this platform.
Yeah, and by the way, many celebrities claim that they were bullied. So in order to become a celebrity,
you have to bully.
Yeah, exactly. You're creating celebrities.
Yes. Well, I was a verbal bullier.
Yes, I bet you were. And, I bet you were snide.
Oh, yes. No, the only retaliation I ever got was the kicked out of me.
But but the thing is, you like that.
I did. I prefer it.
Exactly.
I pay for it now.
Exactly. Bill, let's play a little game I like to call pretending what Bill says matters. The principal had him remove it for security reasons, the shirt. Is that a good point?
For his security?
Well, no. So the kid wouldn't get hurt.
I take issue with your comment that said that you were a bully, particularly after listening to that question. Hurtful. Secondly, God bless the ACLU. I mean, they always defend the scumbag. They put their free speech money where their mouths are. Don't opposite of condemn them for this.
I think that's called condone.
I condone you. And secondly, as far as the kid is concerned, coming out of the closet is hard enough. It makes it even more difficult when there's self-hatred involved. Embrace who you are, little closeted gay boy. Chase the rainbow. Don't condemn it.
Here's the thing. I could never be a principal because I would, at any high school, because I would find every shirt offensive and demand that they all be taken off every day. Here's the thing. You're a rebel.
Sure.
Okay, let's just say it. If in your school they declared a day of silence in which you were forced to act a certain way, wouldn't there be something inside you to rebel and do something obnoxious? And in a way you might be by forcing a political, whether it's correct or not.
That's why I'm saying there should be nothing.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways.
Yeah. Well, some can.
Well,
apparently.
How about a day of reading? I mean, that would be nice.
Wow, and a day of teaching, and wow, that's interesting. A novel idea.
A day of not failing.
Yes, all right. From shirts to suits, they want to pull the plug on eavesdropping bugs. Yep, 8 Muslims have filed a federal lawsuit in New Jersey, an actual state, to force the NYPD to stop its post-9/11 surveillance targeting people of their faith. The app has reported extensively on the department's intel gathering practices in Muslim neighborhoods, such as monitoring where people dined, prayed, and got their hair cut, while infiltrating mosques and student groups. Says the plaintiff's legal advisor, quote, the constitutional violation that the NYPD did commit was blanket surveillance of a group based on religion. The NYPD disagrees and says they're allowed to travel anywhere to collect info, and so far no court has ruled their programs were illegal. Anyway, you know who will never stop spying on people? Nothing wrong with that, just doing his job.
So
you know,
wonderful.
see something, purr something.
Cute.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, off the cuff, just like that.
Well, it's just that you looked at me when you were saying it.
Yeah.
I felt like I needed to respond positively.
You had nowhere else to look. I cornered you with my face.
You did.
I bullied you with a look.
Exempted.
Jamie, one of the plaintiffs is actually an Army reservist who served in Iraq, and he compares this to Saddam's secret police. Do you agree with him?
That's outrageous. I mean, anyone who knows anything about Saddam's secret police
Is you.
Yeah, no. But I mean, the comparison is silly. It's like people that in the United States that see Christian fundamentalists and call them the Taliban. It's like they know nothing of what the Taliban is, or the Taliban were, to make that comparison. As you said, the courts have looked into this. The ones that haven't found any problem. Even one of the students, or the leader of the student group that was infiltrated, was happy to hear that the police were doing their jobs. You cannot pretend that the threat that against us is not coming from Islamist-funded sponsored terrorists.
And soda. Fake sodas.
Well, actually, Michael Bloomberg supports these. I think supports this surveillance, but not soda.
And also, I take issue with your attack on just pretending, because pretending is fun. Yeah. I like to pretend. Leanne, do we risk alienating Muslims or even radicalizing them by monitoring them?
You know, I don't think so, because, you know, not all Muslims are terrorists, but all the terrorists that did do 9/11 were Muslim. And, you know, there's a fine line of trying to snoop but not snoop too much, you know what I mean? And I think they're doing their job, because if they're right here in our backyard and they're, you know, doing whatever they're doing, and if they catch them, then everybody's going to be happy. Oh my gosh, thank God they were watching them. We should have been watching them. And if we don't, then it's like, what was NYPD doing? They should have been watching them.
It's going to be that's a good point, actually, Michael. It's a lose-lose situation. If you are a snooper, people are going to accuse you of infringing on the rights, but if you don't do it, then they'll accuse you of dropping the ball.
Yeah, this whole thing makes me super uncomfortable, because I'm so fair-minded and so terroristic-minded that I can see both sides of this very clearly. The Muslims are absolutely right. The NYPD is targeting them specifically because they are Muslim, specifically because of their religion, and those of us who are non-Muslim are right to be scared sometimes, because we perceive terrorism as a predominantly Muslim threat.
You're right on that. You are delicately.
Well, that's why we're on the red eye, Greg, because we're just threading the needle.
We are.
Every single
You are man
night.
on a wire. You're like that French guy.
Yes.
Pierre.
Yes, and I routinely plunge to my own death, rhetorically speaking.
Yes.
God, I hate this. I hate this issue so much.
It's a tough one. Let me go to Bill before we take a break. Bill, you actually planted tiny cameras in your bathroom so people could watch you. What's your take on this?
My bathroom is an alley, and those cameras belong to the city, sir. You know, I believe it was Benjamin Franklin who said the oft-quoted line, those that give up liberty for a little bit of safety deserve neither safety or liberty. And as we all know, our forefathers are infallible demigods. But in this case, I do take issue with that line because Benjamin Franklin did not live next to a bunch of scary Muslims. So if he had considered that, maybe the quote would have been different.
All right, we got to take a break. Coming up, are all people with 3 names serial killers? Michael Ian Black discusses his new book, My Bloodlust Was Never My Choice. But first, why is Amanda Bynes asking Obama for help? Better question, who is Amanda Bynes? Oh, that was too obvious. I feel bad for her.